Hello, and thank you for attending our presentation on call center outsource opportunities for Comcast Xfinity. My name is Amara, and this pitch is brought to you by myself, Scott, Antonia, and Corinne through the George Washington University School of Business Global Perspectives course. We will be discussing Comcast's need to find the optimal country in which to open their newest international customer service agent facility and the metrics we use to arrive at our conclusion. We will then present our country of choice, Georgia, the research that brought us to that location, and any opportunities available for Comcast Xfinity in that area. Comcast is a major provider of cable television and internet services within the United States. And they're on a mission to open one or more new call centers, each employing around 300 to 500 quality and affordable customer service representatives. Comcast is continually working to improve its customer service rating amongst its users, so the talent pool must feature warm and friendly agents who can address the needs of customers in a respectable and professional manner. The scope of work is difficult, so agents need to be talented, educated, and have the ability to learn and adapt quickly, as they need to be trainable within 3 to 5 weeks. Agents must have strong problem-solving, communications, and typing skills, and of course, an advanced knowledge of the English language. The new centers will operate through a partnership with a local vendor who specializes in call center work. Agents at the call centers will each earn about $700 to $800 a month, which can be considered way above average wage in certain parts of the world. There were many considerations narrowing our search for a new location for the call centers. The most importantly weighted factors that we looked into were economics, workforce, geopolitical, and infrastructural considerations. In economics, we looked into GDP per capita and tax structure in order to investigate whether Comcast's budgeted wage would fit into a country. We also looked into the tax structure of a country and any incentives or reforms that might be an advantage for a company operating overseas. We also investigated the workforce and labor market of several countries, specifically identifying unemployment rates, literacy and education levels, and English proficiency. This ensured we found a labor market with strong and motivated candidates to employ the new call center. Geopolitical considerations were also researched in narrowing our countries. We looked into countries with low political instability and corruption levels, as well as geographical factors and any possible international conflicts in a country's territory. Lastly, we analyzed the internal infrastructures of several countries of interest in order to assess the ability of opportunities within certain countries. We looked for strong evidence of modernization and the ability to support the communication and technological systems necessary for a call center. In addition, we researched the economic strengths and growth opportunities as well as the ease of movement to identify the best choice in our search. The resources we used most often to gain access to these parameters were the World Bank, Britannica Encyclopedia, Global Edge, the English Proficiency Index, the CIA World Factbook, and the Heritage House Index of Freedom. We ultimately arrived at the conclusion that Georgia is the best candidate for this call center. Georgia is located at the intersection of Eastern Europe and Western Asia. Georgia borders the Black Sea, Turkey, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and Russia. Considering Georgia's geographical location, it has had a foreign history of invasion and domination. In recent history, Georgia was a former member of the Soviet Union and gained its independence in 1991. The current population stands at 3.1 million, as much as 4.9 million if you include the autonomous regions of Abkhazia and South Ossetia. The outside of Russia and a handful of other nations, most countries, including the United States, do not recognize these two regions as independent states. Over half of the country's population lives in urban areas, particularly the capital city, Tbilisi, which is home to approximately 1.14 million Georgians. The national language of Georgia is Georgian, which is a Kartvelian language. In the past, Russia was preferred as a second language due to Georgia's close proximity to Russia and the Russian influence over the country. However, within the last 2 decades, English has quickly become the preferred foreign language, as the government has considered English language instruction a priority and hopes to see every child learn the language. English is primarily spoken amongst the youngest younger population, with about 60% of youth having advanced or intermediate knowledge of English. Georgia's GDP for the year 2017 was roughly $15.16 billion, and the current unemployment rate sits at 11.8%. 50% of this current rate is made up of 20 to 34-year-olds. Georgia is a country with vast potential. In Georgia, Outsource Georgia seems like a very promising option. It's a 24/7 call center offering a number of benefits, minimizing the risk and eliminating the cost of opening up a brand new venture. Located right in the urban center and capital of Georgia, Tbilisi, easy access for potential employees, and a very large labor pool to recruit from. Call center employees are trained in a number of languages, the most emphasized being Russian, English, and German. However, if Comcast plans to provide international services in the future, other languages can be requested. Outsource Georgia allows for flexible control over budget and services, an array of customer service options, and they have the infrastructure readily in place for in and outbound calls, live chats, email services, and even customer ticketing platforms for metrics and quality control. The ability to submit transcripts for telephone communications or have the team hire a team to write them on behalf of Comcast is also available. In conclusion, we recommend that Xfinity take advantage of the third-party vendor option available in Georgia. Outsource Georgia is a highly customizable solution that fits all Comcast's need in investing in a new location and labor force. Comcast Xfinity can use Georgia's recent business reforms as an opportunity to maintain a low overhead and labor cost. The readily available workforce, high education levels, and high English proficiency score will be an advantage and help smooth any complications with the startup. We suggest that Comcast monitor Georgia's continually growing economic strength and tax reforms if they choose to invest in this location. However, we believe this to be a very strong contender as it ultimately fits the mold they're looking for in terms of workforce, cost, and infrastructure. Thanks for taking the time to listen to our proposition, and we hope we have provided and investigated a location that wasn't necessarily on Comcast Xfinity's radar, but would be of consideration after presenting its numerous strengths.